Hi, I'm Ash Manson, and the Catholic Church voted to have me omitted from the Bible for fear I would kick the living shit out of Jesus. Alright, that's just my John Morrison tribute right there. Greetings, motherfuckers and motherfuckettes. It is I, Ash Manson, and first of all, I'd like to thank all of you who have stayed subscribed to me over my extended leave of absence. Rest assured that I may come and go, but I'm never gone. And a lot of people like to get on here and critique wrestling all the time. They like to talk shit about what's bad about it, and, they have the right to do that. But when something goes right, every once in a while I like to chime in, and with that in mind, I have to say that John Morrison and The Miz are fucking awesome. And if you don't understand why I'm saying this, if this just seems totally naive to you, you need to go to ECW.com and you need to watch the Dirt Sheet. If you watch the Dirt Sheet and you are not a fan of John Morrison and The Miz by the end of it, you are mentally deficient and should kill yourself. Well, not really, but, I just like telling people to kill themselves because I'm amused by it, so fuck off if you don't like it. Anyway, also, I have to say that, alright, I recently moved. If you watch my other channel, you know that. I no longer have television, and that hinders my ability to watch wrestling. It doesn't eliminate it due to the technologies of the internet, but it does hinder it. So I didn't watch TNA for a few months, and when I finally got back to watching it, I realized that pretty much nothing had progressed. And, I was a little put off by that. However, I did read something online about this rehashing of an old WCW storyline, the New Blood versus the Millionaires Club. And when I read that, I was rolling my eyes. I'm just like, it sucked the first time, why you gotta do it again? But now that I'm seeing it play out in TNA, I think this storyline has fucking potential with Sting trying to restore the respect of the business. Because when you first see Sting come out there, and he's laying out the baby faces, you're like, well, what the fuck's this douchebag doing? Well, at least you are if you're a mark. I like the heels personally, but you know what I mean, alright? And then when he explains himself, it's like he's just trying to make them respect all that, all the wrestlers that came before them and paved the way for them. And then all of a sudden he seems like the good guy again. And then Samoa Joe answers, and this is where it's like, this is a turning point. Samoa Joe answers saying, well, yeah, what about Corpus Christi, Texas? Where were you? All these littler towns that TNA did house shows in. He was there. Where were you? And at that point, Sting looks like the asshole, but then Sting fires back with, he's like, you're getting mad at me for going to my son's football games. But when you were still sucking on a bottle, I was wrestling 300 days a week. And then all of a sudden Sting seems like the hero. Then Jeff Jarrett comes out. Sting, you're full of crap. These guys have the utmost respect. You're just trying to hang on to your spot. My point being is that there's not a clear, defined face or heel in the situation, and I like it that way because it makes you draw your own conclusions about the event. And personally, I like Sting in that situation because I think that the worst top star of the Attitude Era would beat the best top star of this era. Unfortunately, I think that's just the trend in the wrestling business. I thought that wrestling was a lot better back then, so I do have a lot more respect, and I'm a lot of times a lot more partial to the superstars and wrestlers of old. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I really like that storyline, and I'm very much looking forward to see how it develops, and I hope Sting kicks the shit out of Samoa Joe at Bound for Glory. Another little thing I'd like to note before I wrap this up, and I'll have plenty of commentary to follow, but my girlfriend and I are attending WWE Raw here in Minneapolis. That's where I live now. It's September 29th, so I'll definitely be posting reviews, thoughts, whatever, about that. I just wanted to make a quick video and say I'm not dead, and for those of you who primarily watch my The Kid from 13th Street channel, I'll be back on there one of these days, once I can fucking think of something to talk about. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. See you all the fuck later. Peace.